welcome back to Tournament Centre. It's almost Christmas o'clock. We're right at the back end of day 3 of Worlds. Rich Hagan here with Jonathan Randle from the United Kingdom. Hi. It's great to have John on the show. Well, we're going to do a deck tech. It's the last one of the weekend. We wanted to squeeze it in because it's a real classic. And it is, take a look at the table, it's Faeries. And we're going to start right up here at the top with the card that everyone loves to hate. It's Bitterblossom. Make those Faeries. John, you're clearly a lover, not a hater. Why? What appeals about Bitterblossom?
Okay, well, I love Faeries because I've had success with it before, but I mean, Bitterblossom is essentially what makes Faeries amazing. It's a 2-mana enchantment which basically lets you not have to tap out for the rest of the game. And then from then on, you can just be as reactive as you want. I mean, you're going to block things all day. I mean, everyone knows how good Bitterblossom is.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely a lover of it, unless I'm playing against it.
And then of course, we love to hate it again, just
really
like
awkward,
everyone else. Now, you, of course, came to prominence when you won Great Britain Nationals in 2008, carrying the flag at Memphis. How was that experience for you?
Well, it was fantastic. I mean, you know, representing England at Worlds was you know, the biggest honour I've had. So I had a great time. We didn't do so well.
Sure, but you've built on that now, because this is what, Pro Tour number 8 for you?
Yeah, number 8, yeah.
Now, I can tell you that at the start of the day, John, with his Bitterblossoms right here, started out in 71st place. That kind of meant he needed to win, and then win some more. Well, with the Bitterblossoms, we'll call that round 1. Okay. Let's move to round 2, as it were, and this is the kind of counter spell suite. 4 mana leaks. You've gone for the latest M11 version of those. You're not an old school man with that.
No.
Only 3 of the Cryptic Command. Why not 4? Why not the whole set?
Well, I mean, Cryptic's one of the best cards in the format, but it can sometimes, if you have 2 in your hand and you're opening your hand, and say you've only got 2 Cryptics and a few lands, you might have to mulligan. I mean, you can't have too slow of a hand.
Yeah, and 4 turns out to be a lot in extended these days.
It does. It does. I mean, it's still a fantastic card, but a lot of the time you only need to counter a key spell on a key turn, because the way Faeries works a lot of the time is you can be on the defensive for the whole game, and then once you've got control, you turn like that and then you kill them straight away. All
right, so we'll call that round 2. Let's go to round 3. At this point, John's 2-0. Round 3, let's look at the removal. 3, 2, 1. 3 Disfigure, 2 Smother, 1 Doomblade. Now, I know you didn't actually build this deck. Where did it come from?
Well, my friend Dan got the list off the Japanese Pro. So
this is another former UK champion, Dan Gardner.
Dan Gardner. Yep. So last year's champion. Yeah, he got the list from a Japanese Pro. He gave it to me. We both played it. I think Dan, if he won his last one, he was X1 with it. So we would have been 11-1 total. I didn't really know much about the format, so the numbers looked a bit strange to me, but it was a Japanese deck, so
you decided not to argue.
No.
Okay, well, the 4th part of the deck over here, the 4 Thoughtseize. What a beautiful card that's been over the years. And then much more recent, Inquisition of Kozilek. 4 and 1 the balance. Tell us about the Inquisition. How's that been for you today?
The Inquisition's been absolutely excellent. I mean, it's basically 5 Thoughtseizes, which is really the direction I think you want to go with Faeries and Extended, because you just want to create a window to then turn the game with either Mistbind Clique, you know, or another card.
Sure. So that is the way to create
a 5th Thoughtseize.
A 5th Thoughtseize. Until I need the practice. Faeries, Schmaeries. Let's go down one more. At this point, John's 4-0. Needs 2 more wins for top 8. Let's look at the reason Faeries are called Faeries. Vendilion Clique and Mistbind Clique, or as they call them in French, Clique Vendilion and Clique Mistbind, roughly. How good were they?
I mean, they're brilliant. I mean, Mistbind Clique, like I said, it turns the game by itself, because, I mean, the nature of it, you tap them out and then you stick your threat, so then on your turn you just start killing them. So Mistbind Clique is, you know, is amazing.
The best card in the deck? Or is just Bitterblossom hands down?
Yeah, it's close between Bitterblossom, this, or the other card. But I mean, Mistbind Clique, I mean, it can get rid of your Bitterblossom in trouble, or, I mean, it's just one of the best cards.
Let's move across a little bit further to the kind of honourable mention portion of the deck. The lands. Now, Mutavault doesn't say Faerie on it anywhere, but of course a lot of the time it is, and particularly it gets to be a Faerie when you put Spellstutter Sprite around. You activate it, make it work there, and then you were saying Cribbing Tar Pit's been very good for you as well.
Yeah, Tar Pit's great because I mean, as I've been saying, you want to kill them very quickly, and you can do that with, I mean, a Tar Pit and a Mistbind Clique is 7 damage just like that. So it kills very quickly, Tar Pit. But I just want to say, I mean, about Faeries in general, the reason why it's so powerful is just the amazing synergies in the deck. I mean, because this is a tribal enchantment, it basically pulls the deck together because it, you know, affects this and affects this, and you know, Mutavault affects them both.
Well, of course, Lorwyn was all about tribal, and you see it all over this deck. At this point, John's gone 5-0 in extended, 1 more round to go, and down here, you've won your last round. Looks like top 8 is just about to be announced with you in it. And let's have a look at those very bottom 2 cards. Jace the Mind Sculptor. He's not a fairy. What's he for? Well,
what's he for? He's the man.
Well, he may be the man, but right now, Jonathan Randle is the man. Listen, thanks so much for being on here. I see you're in this manelite.com MTG UK
shirt.
This
is a new site that we're starting in the UK.
Bit of a project going on to get the UK up to scratch?
Yeah, to bring the UK level up, you know, and start competing with the other powerhouses.
Well, in the 4 years I've been here, I have not known UK Magic in better shape. Dan Gardner, Richard Bland, Joe Jackson has led the team with pride for Scotland. We've done tremendous work with the 2 Orsini Jones brothers as the flag bearers. Neil Rigby doing great work, top 16 at GP Toronto recently. I finished 33rd in that event, turns out. But right now, the man at the top of UK Magic is the alternate for the GB team, Mr. John Randle. We will see you on Super Sunday. Thanks for being here on the Tournament Centre, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Nice one.